हरे कृष्णा सरना गौरहरि प्रभु। दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी। आर वी रेडी प्रभु?
Yeah, just let me open the shloka.
हरे कृष्णा devotees, दंडवत pranam. Welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very fortunate and glad to have the association of His Grace Suvarna Gaurahari Prabhu, who will be giving Srimad Bhagavatam class from Canto 5, chapter number 16, sloka number 22 to 24. Prabhuji is giving this association after a long time, and Prabhuji is in Manipal, right Prabhuji? You are in Manipal. He will be giving class with along with other devotees in Manipal. Thank you, Prabhuji. Over to you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava कुंज विहारी राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जना गिरिवरधारी गोपी जना गिरिवरधारी गोपी जना शोधनंदन व्रजगन रंजन आय यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय शील प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, chapter number 16, verse number 22, 23, and 24. Canto 5, chapter number 16. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nishtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So these verses from especially fifth canto of Bhagavatam are in the form of prose, not in the form of poetry. So difficult to sing. So, but I will try to recite this verse. Yastu Mahakadambah Suparshva. Repeat Matara. Yastu Mahakadambah Suparshva Nirudho Yastasya Kotarebhyo Vinisritaha Panchayama Parinaha Panchamadudharaha Suparshvashikarat Patantyo Aparenatmanam Tilavritam Anumodayanti Yaha which two but Mahakadambaha the tree named Mahakadamba Suparshva Nirudaha which stands on the side of the mountain known as Suparshva. Yaha which Tasya of that Kotaribhyaha from the hollows Vinisritat flowing Pancha five Ayama Vyama a unit of measurement of about 8 feet. Parinaha whose measurement Pancha five Madhudhara flows of honey Suparshva Shikarat from the top of Suparshva mountain Patantyaha flowing down Aparena on the western side of Sumeru mountain Atmanam the whole of Ilavrita Varsha Anamodayanti made fragrant. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. On the side of Suparsha mountain stands a big tree called Mahakadamba, which is very celebrated. From the hollows of this tree flow 5 rivers of honey, each about 5 yamas wide. This flowing honey falls incessantly from the top of Suparsha mountain and flows all around Ilavrita Varsha, beginning from the western side. Thus the whole land is saturated with the pleasing fragrance. Purport. The distance between one hand and another when one spreads both arms is called Vyama. This comes to about 8 feet. Thus, each of the rivers was about 40 feet wide, making a total of about 200 feet. Yahi upayunjananam Mukha nirvasito Vayuhu Samantat Shatayojanam Anuvasayati. The air carrying the scent from the mouth of those who drink that honey perfumes the land for 100 yojanas around. So the topmost quality fragrance. एवं कुमुदन निरूढ़ो शतवल्सो नामवटा तस्य स्कंदेभ्यो नीचीनाः पयोदधि मधुघृत गूढ़ान्नादि अंबर शय्या आसनाभरणादयः सर्व एव कामदुघा नदा कुमुदाग्रात् पतन्तस् तम उत्तरेणावृतम् उपयोजयन्ति. Similarly, on Kumuda mountain, there is a great banyan tree, which is called Shata Valsa, because it has 100 main branches. From those branches come many roots from which many rivers are flowing. These rivers flow down from the top of the mountain to the northern side of Ilavrita Varsha for the benefit of those who live there. Because of these flowing rivers, all the people have ample supplies of water, milk, yogurt, honey, clarified butter, molasses, food grains, clothes, bedding, sitting places, and ornaments. All the objects they desire are sufficiently supplied for their prosperity, and therefore they are very happy. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The prosperity of humanity does not depend on a demoniac civilization that has no culture and no knowledge, but has only gigantic skyscrapers and huge automobiles, always rushing down the highways. The products of nature are sufficient. When there is a profuse supply of milk, yogurt, honey, food grains, ghee, molasses, dhotis, saris, bedding, sitting places, and ornaments, the residents are actually opulent. When a profuse supply of water from the river inundates the land, all these things can be produced, and there will be no scarcity. This all depends, however, on the performance of sacrifice as described in the Vedic literature. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhavah yajnad bhavati parjanyo yajna karma samudbhavah. All living bodies subsist on food grains, which are produced from rains. Rains are produced. Yajna is born of prescribed duties. These are the prescriptions given in Bhagavad Gita 3.14. If people follow these principles in full Krishna consciousness, human society will be prosperous and they will be happy both in this life and in the next. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishnakanvitamsha नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम पदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्से नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, welcome to all the devotees of Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya group. So I have been listening to Srimad Bhagavatam every day on the online platform. And now all of you are in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which contains very important pastimes, especially in relation to Bharat Maharaj. Jada Bharata story is elaborately described. The dynasties of Priyavrata Maharaj are described. Priyavrata Maharaj, he was the ruler of the entire Bhumandala at one point of time. Bhumandala, I don't mean the Earth planet. Bhumandala means much bigger area than that. But the whole Bhumandala was being ruled by Priyavrata, and his sons were entrusted with different places to rule. And then in his dynasty comes Nabhi Maharaj. Then in his dynasty comes Rishabhadeva. Rishabhadeva's son is Bharata Maharaj. Bharata Maharaj, he retired to the forest and he became a deer. Then he became again a human being called Jada Bharata. Then Jada Bharata attained spiritual kingdom. So that is described in the 14th chapter. And 15th chapter gives the list of Priyavrata's dynasty, especially Bharata Maharaj's dynasty. And then the story of Bharata Maharaj and Priyavrata Maharaj ends. So just yesterday evening I was giving a class on the 15th chapter, one chapter before this, for Kannada group. So I give a summary of one chapter in one week every Wednesday. So we start from first canto, now we're in the fifth canto, 15th chapter. So in 15th chapter it is said that how the dynasty continues and the different rulers continued ruling this Bhumandala. So the 16th chapter beginning, Parishad Maharaj asks a question. He was curious to know about the structure of the universe. As you see here, the structure of the universe, right? The Goloka chart. He was curious to know. You may wonder why is Parishad Maharaj asking this question, because he's about to die. And it's fifth canto going on. I think it's about the third day or the fourth day. I think third day. He has only 4 days remaining and he is asking about the creation, right? Oh, Brahmana, you have already informed me about the radius of Bhumandala extends as far as the sun spreads. How far is Bhumandala? As far as the sun rays go, that far is Bhumandala. Because beyond that limit, sun rays are not there. And the light and the heat spreads. And you mentioned, because in the first chapter of this canto, Priyavrata Maharaj was going round the Meru Parvat, chasing the sun. Because he was thinking that sun is giving light only in the day, but night time there is darkness, so I want 24 hours daylight, so that nobody sleeps. So they are doing continuous spiritual activities all day. There's only day. So Parikshit Maharaj became the second sun. He was glowing like the sun on his chariot and was going in the opposite direction of the sun and making 24 hours day. And while going, he was going on a chariot with one wheel, and that wheel made Sapta Sagaras, the 7 oceans, right? Saltwater ocean, the sweetwater ocean, the ocean of yogurt, and there is ghee, then there is sugarcane and liquor. So the Sapta Sagaras and Sapta Deepas were also made in between the, you can see in the chart, the Sapta Sagaras and Sapta Deepas are mentioned. So there he mentioned about the geography. He just introduced the geography of this planet. And now this section, especially from this chapter onwards till the end of this canto, 30th chapter, is beyond human imagination. Okay, it's beyond human imagination because it is revealed by sages who are seeing from a higher dimension. Shukdev Goswami is an exalted yogi. He is a Mahayogi. And he, in his meditation, he saw the entire universe and is describing to Parikshit Maharaj as he is seeing, not as we are seeing. We see, the scientists see in a different way. We see, okay, there is Earth, there is Moon, there is Sun, and then there is movement of the planets, and then there is the Milky Way. and there are stars and galaxies and meteors and asteroids, and so that's what scientists see. They are seeing from only the scientific point of view. So from using that technology, the telescopes, they're able to see this, but from a higher dimension, the world looks different. It's much different. Just like when we look at the body, we look at as a body as a bag of flesh and bones. That's all. But when we look from a higher dimension, where also the mind, intelligence, and ego, and then there is soul also. But it needs Shastra Chakshu to have that vision. Just by material, Charma Chakshu, we can't see the real body, the real me. But only with Shastra Chakshu, we can see the real me and my full, complete personality. So one has to develop that spiritual vision. So from Shastra Chakshu, when you look at the world looks the way it is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And some devotees have tried to pictorially represent it through charts. And there are some devotees who have made 3D movies on this. And in places like GEV, our Parama, who is our ISC scientist, has written a book now, Bhagavata Cosmology. So Pavaneshwar Prabhu, an ISC scholar, Brahmachari in GEV, they have made a 3D model, working model of this. So it means it works, it is true. So Prabhupada, in one of these purports, he says, we can neither disprove what Bhagavatam is saying, neither can we prove with our material senses what it is saying. Neither we can prove nor disprove, but we can accept. Because it's beyond our capacity to imagine such things, realize such things. Actually, the museum for this, like mini TOP. So there is Prabhuji from GEV here. So he is explaining that one. There is a comment here that can you show the chart and explain? Okay, let me. Canto 5. Very complex to understand, but let's try. For me also this canto is very fascinating. I read this canto several times, read this section many times. But when I attended seminar by Pavaneshwar, it was very clear. Oh, this is it. It is like this. Whether earth is flat or earth is round, or earth is conical. I don't mean the earth globe, the Bhumandala. So many things became very clear. And another thing is geocentricity and heliocentricity, which is right. So that also becomes very clear when you read this section of Srimad Bhagavatam. And what are the stars and what is the sun? Is there only one star or there is? Is there only one sun or many suns? One. Huh? One Brahmanda. In one Brahmanda, only one sun. And all others are just reflecting the light of the sun. There are many stars. In Vedic cosmology, there is Surya, then there are nakshatras, there are grahas. So there is sun, there are nakshatras, and then there are grahas, planets. Okay. So that's why this canto of Bhagavatam really blows your mind. And those who cross this canto with faith, they get the nectar of the holy name in the sixth canto. They get the protection of the Lord as mentioned in seventh canto. And they get to hear the avatars of the Lord in eighth and ninth canto. And then they get the nectar of Krishna, the shelter of Krishna in 10th canto. So Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto is the test of faith of a sadhaka. If you're really able to put faith in these things and then go ahead when you pass the test. And some people, they doubt. Is it really true? Then they fail. So when Prabhupada was there, Of course, this we discuss in our Utkarsh camp for the youth. Did man really go to moon? So that's a very difficult topic. Once Prabhupada was watching NASA video, a live telecast of NASA going to moon. And rocket is going so 10, 9, 8, 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, going. And then they show how it detaches and then goes and finally goes to moon. And then they showed that video, that person putting the flag and we have gone to the moon. American flag is on the moon. So Prabhupada was also watching, and Prabhupada's one disciple, he was also watching. And Prabhupada said, they are cheating. They are not gone to moon. Prabhupada, Pratyaksha Praman, we are seeing they are on the moon. They have not gone to moon. Prabhupada then and there he said, they have not gone to moon. I don't know how Prabhupada knew, but he knew. I said, how can Prabhupada doubt this? Pratyaksha Praman, I am seeing this. They are right on the moon. I can see their footprints, their shoes prints, and then their flag and the environment there we are seeing. Prabhupada was very convinced they have not gone to moon. And this person doubted Prabhupada. And then because of that doubt, he committed an offense. Then he left Krishna consciousness. So that's the fifth counter is the test. And later, after a decade, that video was exposed. Have you seen that video? Did man really land on moon? And they're showing how it is a fake. It was all staged in a desert in some place in America called Area 51. There they had gone and shooted everything. And many proofs they give that how the the gravitation in moon is very light. So how can the footprint be so deep? And there the wind, the flag is shaking. How can there be wind there? So many evidence, and there is light seen in the reflection of the. Somebody is taking a video of that. It's all cheating, which is exposed. And Neil Armstrong was the first person. He avoided giving interviews after that video came. He was escaping. When astronauts went wild, and then they were refusing to meet, and some were killed also. Because when NASA came to know that they're going to expose it. Anyway, there's videos there, you can see it. So the fifth canto is a test of faith. If you can sail along very smoothly through this, then you will get Krishna. So Parikshit Maharaj is asking this question to know the greatness of the Lord. He wants to know the greatness of the Lord. So this fifth, 16th chapter is a description of Jambudvipa. Okay. So are you able to see the screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So I think devotees here are not able to see. I will share the link in Bhakti Center group, so that you can also see the PPT. So Jambudvipa is described to be like a lotus with petals all around, and in the center there is a world. And around the world is filaments. So other mountains are there around the world. So that's how it is described. So he has the question about what is the radius of Bhumandala, measurements, names, characteristics of the seven oceans, seven islands created with Priyavrata, and how the Lord's universal form is pursued. This is the main point. How to see the Lord in this universe? That's the question of Parikshit Maharaj. And Shukadeva Goswami answers all the things. He says that the Bhumandala, the Earth disk, as you know, the whole universe is like a globe, football. Half of it is filled with water called Garbhodaka Sagara. Above the Garbhodaka Sagara is Bhumandala, which is floating on the top of Ananta Shesha. Right? On the Garbhodaka Sagar is tortoise, Kurma, and on Kurma is Lord Vishnu resting on Ananta Shesha. Then Ananta Shesha is holding all this Bhumandala on top of him, which is like a disc, which represents a lotus. So the seven islands are like the world. So Jambudvipa is the middle portion, which is 100,000 yojanas, and there are 9 varshas, each of 9,000 yojanas each, and the 8 mountains separating them. So there's Jambudvipa, okay, and in between there is. So let's zoom to Jambudvipa. We are not discussing the other part. That portions will be described in the future chapters. The Saptadvipas, Saptasagaras, they will be described in the future. But now this chapter is on focusing on Jambudvipa. Jambudvipe, Bharatkhande, so Bharatavarshe, Mero, Dakshinaparshave. So that when you do any puja, you do sankalpa, where we are. Right? Madhya, you do, right? All Brahmanas, when doing puja, they do this. So what is Jambudvipa? Generally, we were taught in our history book that India is called Jambudvipa. Oh, another name of India is Jambudvipa. No, Jambudvipa is this. Okay. Jambudvipa, it is surrounded by salt water on all sides. It's like a circle. Okay. And in the center is Sumeru Parvata, which is 100,000 yojanas tall. One yojana is how much? 8 miles. So 100,000 yojanas, so 800,000 miles tall. Out of which 16,000 yojanas is like a foundation inside the earth, and 84,000 yojanas is visible on the top. So if you zoom into Jambudvipa, so there is Meru Parvata. Right? So it is, so 16,000 yojanas is below, and then yeah, all dimensions you can see. So this is a solid gold mountain, solid gold. Sumeru mountain, solid gold Savannah. So when a part of this fell into earth, that became Trikuta. That is Lanka. Sone ka Lanka, where Kuvera made his capital. Later Ravana came and drove him away, and he became the king. So Sumeru mountain. So that's why whenever Meru Shikarinamaham, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Krishna is using this reference in Bhagavad Gita. Among the tall things, I am Meru. Huh? Same. Sumeru, Meru, both are same. So it is Meru Parvata. So around Meru Parvata, there are other small. So on the north side of Meru, okay, let's see, the central portion of this Jambudvipa is called Ilavrata Varsha, where Lord Shiva stays. Ilavrata Varsha, where Lord Shiva stays, and Kailasa Parvata is in this Ilavrata Varsha. Above that, there is Rammakya Varsha, Hiranyamaya Varsha, and Kuru Varsha. And there you can see the brown strips, they are mountains. Neela, Shweta, Shringavan mountains. And on the other side, you will find 3 other mountains: Nishad, Hemakuta, Himalaya. Sthavarana, Himalaya. Krishna is referring to this Himalayas, not our Kashmir Himalayas. He is referring to this Himalayas. Sthavarana, Himalaya. Okay. So, and in between these mountains are like straight mountains. Tall but straight mountains. There's Hari Varsha, Kimpurusha Varsha, and Bharata Varsha. So Bharata Varsha is the southern part of Jambudvipa. Bharata Varsha. So, and there are Malyavan and Gandhamadana mountains, and Ketumala and Bhadrashva Varsha. So these are the 9 Varshas. Varsha means the area, tract of land. And the dimensions of each of these Varshas are also given. It's incredible. No, we can't see this because this is in a higher dimension. We are part of this, but we can't see this. Access denied. When I was in my office working, so we had our ID card, no? And we have to punch it. Then the doors will open. We can go inside. So I was opening my doors and going inside. Once I thought I'll go to the lab where all servers are kept. I put the red line, ding, access denied. Ram, I'm employee of this company. No, you don't have access to that. For you, only this much access. So for us, only access to India has been given. We are born here. If you want to go to America, you have to get access, visa. You can go to visa. Permission of that demigod in America is required to go there. Similarly, Chandra, access denied. If you want to go to Chandra, you need permission of Indra, Swargaloka's king. If you get visa, visa is qualification. Punya. Sufficient punya you have to do, then you get the qualification and you're stamped. Okay, permission granted. You can go to any planet. So these higher planets, access is denied to most of us. So only those people like Narada Muni can go anywhere without any restriction. Right? But for most of us, access is denied. Right? See, Prabhupada is telling here, just hear from Bhagavatam, no experiments. We can't experiment these things. Be satisfied with the statement of the authorities. Appreciate how Lord's external energy manifests the cosmos. So this is what lessons we can take. Be satisfied with the authority statement. Like now scientists make a statement, there are so many 10 to the power of so many trillions of stars. Do you experiment? Did you ever question the scientists? How did you arrive at this number? No, we accept. Okay. So scientific theories, many things we accept. Because authorities change, they have done experiment. Neither can we prove, neither we can disprove. Now the electron exists, we are accepting that on the faith. That electron है, ठीक है, क्यों है? We are seeing the effect of it. Scientists have told it. We have not seen it. Isn't it? So some things on science, which science says, we accept it based on faith. Similarly, some things can be proven in science, some things have to be accepted. That Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Have you studied? What is that? Huh? Simultaneously, you cannot determine velocity and position. So that's Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. So science is also uncertain. And there are certain principles which we accept because it is accepted worldwide and all the intelligent people accept it. Right? So we also accept. Now even third law of thermodynamics. At zero entropy, at 0 Kelvin, there is zero entropy. Who has seen this? It's a hypothetical situation. So entropy means the disturbance of the atoms is at zero Kelvin. So that's what they say. But who has seen? Nobody has seen. But we accept it as an axiom. So just like in science, we accept many axioms. Axioms are statements without any proof. Right? A dot is an axiom. Can a dot really be a dot? What is a dot? What is a point? A point is a dimensionless entity. Can such a point exist? In practical, there is no existence of a point. We call it a point, but the point which you draw with a pencil still has some dimension. And what is a line? Set of points. What is a plane? Set of lines. And what is a volume? Set of planes. So we keep on extending, we assume one axiom and then keep on extending for practicalities. So similarly in Vedas and Bhagavatam also there are certain points which we cannot experiment. We can neither prove it nor disprove it. We accept it based on faith. So be satisfied with the statements of authorities, Prabhupada said, and appreciate how Lord's external energy manifests the cosmos. Our experimental knowledge can neither verify nor disprove the statement. We can't verify where is Meru mountain. We can't verify. Neither can we disprove, because it's beyond our capacity to do this. But we have to accept the authorities. They have seen, so we accept it. It is there. Isn't it? Same Vedas which talk about Atma, which talk about reincarnation, which are proven, also talks about this. So if that portion is true, this portion also must be true, because the same author is writing. Isn't it? If the same author, if an author has written a book and some portions are true, it is verifiable, and some portions are not verifiable by you, but still we should accept it, because if this portion is true and other portion also must be true, maybe in course of time I will realize it. Right now I may not be able to realize it, but in future, in course of time, I will realize it. So that's how we should accept. Okay. Some things which we can't realize and understand now will become understandable in due course of time. So there is a Vedic Subhashita which says that in the class, when you hear from a guru, you will learn only 25%. Your learning is only 25%. And when you do self-study, you gain remaining 25%. And when you start discussing with your fellow devotees, then it becomes 25%. So 25% from Guru, 25% by your own endeavor, 25% by discussion, and remaining 25%? Huh? In due course of time. In due course of time, by experience, one will realize those points. That's what Subhashita says. So that's why some things which you are not able to understand, have patience, continue sadhana. So that thing which was like 3 modes of nature, very difficult for me to understand initially in 2006-07. बहुत कष्ट कर रहे थे, क्या है सत्वगुणा, रजोगुणा, तमोगुणा, golden color, copper color, and iron color, and then mixture produces different varieties. So it was very beyond imagination at that time. But now, yes, little I can understand it sometimes, how the modes of nature are working, right? And they really exist. How we get affected by that, and how we can see others getting affected by that. So we can see. But initially it may not be, it was very difficult, right? So now this canto also, which is very difficult, some sections, in due course of time, by spiritual advancement, one can understand these things. Okay, one can develop faith in these things, correct? So one can neither verify nor disprove. This is Prabhupada wrote in a previous purport where there is, so around the Meru mountain, there are 4 mountains, big mountains, and on those top, and on top of those mountains, there are trees. There's Kumuda mountain, Suparshva, Mandara, and Meru Mandara. Okay. And each of this tree, you can see there, no? On each of this mountain, there are 4 trees. So on Kumuda mountain, there is Shatavalsa, which we read today, is a banyan tree, 100 branched banyan tree. And right side there is Deva Chuta, mango tree, which we read. Mandara mountain, we hear of Mandara mountain, which was used for Samudra Mantana. It was this mountain which was taken. They picked up this mountain from here, they carried to the milk ocean, which is there on the one of the Sapta Sagaras. They took it there, and there it joined, and then brought it back and kept it here. So it is Mandara mountain, solid gold mountain, which was carried for Samudra Mantana.
Mandara from here to southern coast. Then another mountain should be replaced over there.
Yeah, that you don't ask. It's beyond our imagination what they did. Okay. So then below there is Meru Mandara, which has jambu tree, and the jambu tree is the size of elephants. And when they drop, when the ripened jambu tree falls, it breaks, and then the liquid flows. And there is Jambu river which flows. From Devachuta, mango of the size of elephants they fall, and mango river flows. And especially jambu tree, around the jambu tree, when the jambu juice mixes with the mud and sunlight, it forms gold. So people go and pick up gold from there. Okay. Don't ask me its address. And then there's Suparsha mountain. On that there is Kadamba tree, and from the holes of the Kadamba tree, honey falls. And each honey river is about 8 feet wide, and there are such 5 streams which come. So total 40 feet wide stream of honey is flowing. So they travel to different directions. Amazing, huh?
So this honey doesn't come from bees.
Huh?
This honey doesn't come from bees, only bees.
No. So that, yeah. And when they taste this honey, the place becomes up to 100 yojanas, it becomes fragrant. Such is the nectar of this honey. So this is called as Bhauma Swarga. There is Swarga and Indraloka, and this is Bhauma Swarga. Those who do good amount of punya, they go here. Those who do extraordinary punya, they go there. Okay, to actual Swarga. So this Bhauma Swarga is also very, very opulent. And the residents of this place, they don't get sick, they don't have disease, they are extremely healthy, they have good facilities for enjoyment. So they don't grow old, they stay young. They are born, they stay young, they die. So that's how the residents of Jambudvipa are very, very beautiful and opulent. And there are beautiful gardens around this mountains, like Nandana Kanana gardens and all, so which are the sporting places for Devatas. So Devatas from Meru Parvata, they come down. Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Charanas, they all come down and sport here. There's a recreation place for them. So on top of Meru Parvata, there are 8 Lokapalakas who are actually staying in different directions. And in the center is the Brahma's headquarters, Brahma's office. Brahma stays in Satyaloka, but he has an office in Meru Parvat on top. And from there, they manage the universal affairs like that. So, very nicely described in this canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, the streams of juices, milk, honey, sugarcane juice, and pure water. So, there are gardens like Chitra Ratha. All this is described here. Very complex, huh? One after it keeps on growing. So there are other small mountains like Trishringa, Makara, Jatara, Devakuta, and there is Pavana, Paryatra, and there is Kailasa and Karve. Kailasa Parvata is here. Many people ask, where is Kailasa Parvata? It is here, in the southern side of Meru, and there Lord Shiva stays. And Ilavrita Varsha, there is only one male, who is Lord Shiva. All others are female in Ilavrita Varsha. Okay. So this is Ilavrita Varsha, is the center of Jambudvipa. So in this chapter, the center of Jambudvipa is being described, and till now, those verses were described. Okay. So the next chapter is descent of Ganga. So how Ganga comes on top of Meru mountain and splits into 4 and goes into 4 directions. And then,
Brahma's office is this.
huh?
On the top of Sumeru Parvat, there is Brahma's office.
Yeah.
Is that the reason? Like that's
Yeah, it comes here. They don't do logic, just accept what is mentioned here. That's the problem with modern education. And you're told to too much speculate. But here, first you have to accept. Okay, then you try to understand why it is like that. See, Brahmaji in the center and all the Kuvera. See, it's very scientific. No? In Vastu, we say, no, Dikpalakas, Lokapalakas. And Ishyana is the place where Shiva is staying, northeast. Indra is on the east. Southeast corner is called as Agni Mule, where Agni stays. So it's Agni. Southern direction is called Yama. the direction of death, right? So Yama. Then Nirrati is southwest, western side. Varuna is on the west. Vayavya, Vayu stays in the northwest. And then north direction is Kuvera, right? And their residential names are also given, right? Brahma's place is called Manovati. Shiva Yashovati, Indra Amaravati, Agni Tejovati, Yama Samyamani, Krishnangani is Nirvati, Varuna Shraddhavati, Vayu is Gandhavati, Kuvera is Mahodaya. Right? So I'll not go into the next chapter, the glories of Ganga and Ganga's descent. So we'll stick to this chapter today. So this is how Jambudipa, in the center there is Meru Parvata. And the next chapter goes on explaining each of the Varsha. Who stays there? Like in Bharata Varsha, who stays? We are all staying. And who is the presiding deity of Bharata Varsha? Like every Grama has got Grama Devata. And people worship that Grama Devata. Similarly, Bharata Varsha, who is the Devata? It's Naranarayana Rishi. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Nartamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udire. So in the Himalayas, which Himalayas? Greater Himalayas. So not this. Here also there is a Badri, which is an extension of that Adi Badri. But Adi Badri nobody can access. Only great personalities like Madhvacharya could go flying to that place, to Adi Badri, and actually meet Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is actually there. And the current Badri where people go for Yatra, that is like an extension center of that Adi Badri. Yeah. So Adi Badri, no access to that because the higher Himalayas is very difficult. Only Bhima could go in the Mahabharata, you see. He went to Adi Badri where 1,000-petal lotuses are there in the ponds. And here Yakshas stay, very close to Yakshas, Yakshaloka. So humans don't have access to that. So that too, Pandavas could go because Ghatotkacha took them. On their own, they could not go. Okay. So even Arjuna goes to even Kimpurusha Varsha also with help of Ghatotkacha. And Kimpurusha Varsha is the place where Hanuman and all the monkeys stay and they worship Lord Ramachandra. And above that, there is Hari Varsha where Lord Narsimhadeva is the presiding deity and Prahlada and others they worship Lord Narsimhadeva. So all the Varshas are nicely described. And of all of them, Bharata Varsha is considered to be very special. They say that we have done so many yajnas, so many pujas to go to Swarga, but what is the use? Right? Kim Janmabi Kratubhi Tapo Vrate Danad Birvas Dujane Fulguna Smriti Pramushta Atishay Indriya Utsavad. We are born in Swarga like Bhoma Swarga, but so much sense gratification we are not able to think of Krishna. Fortunate are the souls in Bharata Varsha who are able to think of Krishna, where so many avatars of the Lord appeared, and so many wonderful sages are there here, and so much wonderful place to practice Krishna consciousness. Nayatra Vaikunta Katha Sudhapaga Nasadho Bhagavatas Tadashraya Nayatra Yagnesha Makha Mohotsava Shuresha Lokopi Navesu Sevitam. Bharata Varsha, residents of Jambudipa, they are glorifying Bharata Varsha people and saying that here Harikatha happens, here sadhus are there, here festivals are celebrated. So let us be born in Bharata Varsha, right? Even a fraction of time spent in Bharata Varsha is much better than spending years in Swarga, they say. Like there are many verses which come in the 19th chapter of this canto. So we are so fortunate, but we are not realizing our fortune. When devatas are praying to take birth here, people here are wanting to go there. So we should realize our good fortune and practice Krishna consciousness very seriously. So that is the main point. So coming to the verses 22, 23, 24. So Suparsha mountain, on top is Mahakadamba and honey flows, and this honey is very fragrant. Okay, so that was told. And 23rd verse, 24th verse, it is described that how from the Kumura mountain a banyan tree is there, and from there rivers flow. Many rivers are flowing, and these rivers give ample amount of milk, yogurt, honey, butter, molasses, food grains, clothing, bedding, sitting place, ornament. So Prabhupada is taking this point and is telling that for our survival, we need these things. We don't need factories, gigantic skyscrapers, fast-going automobiles. Right? With automobiles, only accidents happen, such terrible accidents. You can see on the videos, such terrible crashes. More people die in accidents than in COVID. Right? So we should understand that for our necessity, for our survival, we need these natural things, not artificial things invented. And people have big skyscraper buildings, and if power cuts, कैसे चढ़ेंगे 100-story building? So this is all artificial. And if water gets dried up, how will you pump water to the 100-story building? Now here we are fortunate, we have wells. Even if power goes up, we can pull water and use it, isn't it? But in cities, if power goes, water is not there, then can't do anything. So city life appears to be very cozy, very comfortable, but it is only Maya. When Prakriti shows its Ugra Rupa, for example, COVID time, supply of vegetables, supply of grain, supply of fruits was restricted because transportation is affected. So a time will come when the transportation will get affected because of, Rupa said in 50 years everything will be gone, maybe very soon, petroleum and other things will go, will be extinct. And the transportation will be very severely affected. So Prabhupada says that's why go to natural living. So try to live on land and cows. So Srila Prabhupada said that. So try to lead a very simple life with land and cows. And with cows, we can get milk, you can get yogurt, you can get butter, you can get so many wonderful sweets. So you can live a happy life. And then also, you should produce some sufficient dhoti, sari, and then ornaments. So in this way, one can lead a happy life. This is actually true opulence. Having laptops, mobile cars is not actually opulence, but having these natural resources in abundance, that is opulence. That's a true definition of opulence. So we should try to go more natural, more nature friendly. So in that way we can be happy, and environment also can be protected, and we can lead a happy life and also give that facility for the next generations also. As we have good nature to see now, but our younger generations may not be able to see this. So we should care for the future generation also and preserve the nature for them. Okay. So I'll pause here. If there are any comments or questions from online, we can take first. I hope I didn't go beyond the limit. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for a very nice class, Prabhu. Especially the point that you mentioned that, fifth canto, especially these chapters are test of our faith. That's kind of a revelation. Thank you, Prabhu. I request the devotees to share the comments or reflections that you may have.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandvat Brahma. It was surprising to know that whether Americans really landed on moon, you said. Here we'll search for the videos and see, Prabhu.
Don't search, I'll send you.
Okay. Okay.
When you start searching, na,
Yes, Prabhu.
we land up in many things which are controversial.
A controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation. Viewers are invited to make a judgment based on all available information. Good night.
Devotees are not made this. The scientists have only made this. Journalists have made this video.
But even today, there are those who claim that believing in man's one small step, the landings.
Everybody celebrates it. See, flag is moving.
And he discovered that there was no blast crater beneath the lunar land.
See, now lunar land, it has landed, but where is the blast? Right? So landing means it is throwing fire from below, but you don't see any blast there. So like this, they think.
It's entirely possible. 60s allegedly go to the moon. Was getting to the moon for the Soviets.
A flag thing also.
What we put up on the screen door at its high desert stages.
So it was shot in a desert, they say. See this footprint. How can it be such a deep impression? It's not possible to have such a deep impression. 10 astronauts died in strange circumstances.
How far from the spiritual, also known as the lab, possible to hear months before this historic landing.
So this is almost 43 minutes video.
How could the lamb land 6 times flawlessly? The arguments are very fine-grained.
Yeah, see here.
Photo after photo reveals that the lunar surface surrounding the lamb is covered with footprints.
See, so many footprints. Means they have walked it there, walked around too many times. So many footprints are there.
Photo after photo reveals that the lunar surface surrounding the lamb is covered with footprints. But Casing says there's something even more difficult to explain. The fact that there's no ground for the 6 lunar landings. Lamb specialist Paul Fiel says he can explain why the lunar module left no crater when landing or anything like that. What I discovered probably.
And I'll share this with you. You can watch it.
If there's no air on
See, there is no air. Now flag you see it's going like this, like this, like this.
Or hit the picture on the TV. If there's no air on the moon, why is this American flag waving? Plus, could these official NASA photos have been doctored? All of the photographs were fake. And later, is it possible for humans to have survived the deadly radiation in deep space? When conspiracy theory continues.
This conspiracy theory. Did we land on moon? So you can watch this. So I'll share this video, Mata, so you can watch it.
Also, Prabhupada was telling now, Prabhu, that moon is beyond the sun. How can they go like that somewhere in the
He says Sunday comes before Monday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So
Yes.
first the sun, then the so sun is actually Bhuva Loka. Bhu Bhuva. So Bhu Mandala is Bhu Loka. Then Bhuvar Loka is Surya. Surya Loka. And then there is Moon, Swarga Loka. Moon is part of Swarga Loka. So Moon is higher than Sun in terms of the level. But in terms of distance, Moon is closer than the Sun. Sun is horizontally far, Moon is vertically near. Confusing? For that, you need to read the further chapters of this.
Prabhu, please share this video, Prabhu.
Yeah. There's a revolution
Prabhu,
going.
after 1965, when they said that they have landed on the moon, till now, no further advancement has happened. Really, if it has happened by now, they would have done some more research.
Yeah, so yeah, they might have gone to the moon. Prabhupada says, okay, the devotees have analyzed. First thing, they didn't go to moon. Second thing, even if they have gone there, they have gone to the physical projection of the original moon. Or they have gone to planet Rahu. Okay. Instead of going to moon, next to the moon there is a planet called Rahu. They might have gone there. And even if they have gone to the moon, but they have access only to the physical moon, the dust and the stones. They don't have access to the moon, which is Swarga. Right? Imagine somebody is there at the compound of this college, MIT college, but he has no access inside. Something like that. So they have gone inside, they have gone close to the moon, but they don't have access to the facilities of that place. So according to Bhagavad Gita, Soma Bhutva Rasatmaka, the moon is full of taste, full of vegetation, full of rasa. Scientists say moon is a watery planet, but it is beyond that. Right? Much more. So they don't have access to the higher realms of that Swargaloka. Okay. So I plan to call Pavaneshwar Prabhu sometime to ICC and do a weekend seminar on this section. He is the authority on this. So he has written many books also. I plan to invite him in the future through Srimad Bhagavata Vidyalaya, which we have started, Srila Prabhupada Bhagavata Vidyalaya. Through that, we will be organizing this Pavaneshwar Prabhu seminar on Vedic astronomy, Bhagavata cosmology. So we will fix the date and send out the registration, and all of you can attend and get more deeper understanding. I attended his 4-day seminar, daily 6 hours. Thoroughly it covered this whole section of cosmology, including he explained how he explained eclipses. All that he explained, how it happens. So those who are interested, you can take advantage of the seminars in the future. Okay. Thank you so much.
Devotees, any other questions, comments?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, can I?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can I ask a question?
Yes, Prabhu.
First of all, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. In such a short time, you covered most of the things, at least in regarding to this chapter. Prabhuji, now my question is, in Jambudvipa, we have the Bharatavarsha. In Bharatavarsha also, we have this 8 khandas. In that, Bharata Khanda is there. Now, our Earth, you said now it is in Bharatavarsha. Now, like, now what way we stay that India and other things. Now, actually, what is then Bharata Khanda also emphasizes the same thing?
Yeah, so there are 8 khandas in Bharatavarsha, as you said. And the last one is Bharata Khanda. Each khanda. So you can say Bharata Khanda is a part of Bharatavarsha. Was it your question?
No, our Earth, that is where India is there, that you said it is Bharatavarsha. That is it Bharatavarsha or Bharata Khanda? Because again, it divides into this.
This globe is called as Bharata Khanda. Okay.
The entire
This
globe.
globe where we are, entire globe is called Bharata Khanda, which is part of a greater place called as Bharatavarsha.
Okay. Okay.
So Bharata Khanda is a part of Bharatavarsha.
So when we say India in Bharatavarsha, that means since it is encompassing this in Bharata Khanda also, that's why Bharata in India also is considered in the Bharatavarsha also.
Yeah. So when we say Bhumi, we say this earth is called Bhumi, globe. But Bhumi actually refers to entire Jambudvipa, entire Saptasagaras, entire Saptadvipas. That's called Bhumi. When Bhumi fell into the ocean, Lord took the Varaha avatar to lift it. Which was that Bhumi? Was it our earth globe or entire Bhumandala? Entire Bhumandala, along with all the oceans, it fell into the water. So Lord came to lift that. Okay.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So whatever you can understand, try to understand. Whatever you're not able to understand, park it. Okay. And keep chanting and keep studying. So eventually it will become understandable. Okay, bro.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for a very nice class once again. And I think we will end today's session with Vaishnava Pranam Prabhuji.
Guruvashya Kripa Sindhubhyo च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, devotees. I will be